Hello and welcome to ForMorSport, the show where we talk about all things football. I hope that you have all had a great week so far. My name's Johnny, and as always, I'm joined by my good friend Chris. How you doing, Chris? How are you?
Very, very good. The start of this week has been fantastic.
Oh well, yeah, we know this. And just to clarify, what shirt are you rocking today?
This is Bayern Munich today. I have a thing for the black and gold, so yeah.
Okay, yes.
I have no allegiance to them at all.
It's okay, but still a great shirt. And also we have with us Roger. How are you doing, sir?
Yeah, not so bad, thank you, Johnny. I don't know how a supporter can wear a shirt of another football team. To me, that's just anathema.
Sacrilege.
I couldn't do it. It's Chelsea or nothing.
Yes.
Fair enough. Yeah.
And also I need to say a quick hello to Mark Fraser. Hello and welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming in and joining us on the discussion today. Now, this is going to be a shortened show. That rhymes. It's going to be a shortened episode purely and simply because there is a very big game about to happen in only a short period of time, which we will be talking about in great detail. But before we do that, we need to talk about the game that happened yesterday. The reason why Chris has said he is very happy is because his wonderful Liverpool played Manchester United at Anfield. And at that point, I'm going to leave it over to you. So, Chris, tell me, what happened yesterday with Liverpool?
They got a much needed 3 points. They had to work really, really hard for them.
Yeah.
They were put through the motions, and it was pretty scrappy, but we got there in the end. No, in all seriousness, it was a game that, despite everything, still fills your stomach up with butterflies, because considering where we are and the form that we're in and everything else, that is one of probably about 3 or 4 teams that you don't want to face when you're at a moment like this, because they can take the wheels right off of your run. And because of the form of the two teams, I somehow had a thought that could happen.
Right.
A lot of them were saying, no, we're not going to do it. We're hoping for a 0-0 draw. And I just thought, no, you're saying this to make yourselves feel better just in case it doesn't happen. But actually, I think you really feel that you could do something. And some of them were honest. They said, yeah, I think we'll win. And I guess we saw what we saw, didn't we?
Yeah. So just to clarify, I was trying my very best not to remind anyone of episode 13. Mark has clearly highlighted, is there going to be any glitches? Mark, I do not know. All I know is that at the moment, I am here. Roger is here, and so is Chris. We are here in the flesh. We hope to stay the full course without being kicked out or, silence or noises or whatever. We are going to just keep going. We are going to just keep trailblazing as we discuss it. Roger, also, what was your take? What was your impression of the game yesterday between Liverpool and Manchester United?
Well, I have to be honest. I don't know if Chris is winding us up with these comments. I thought Liverpool were in control. I thought Thiago just strode the midfield, and it was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And I thought they had much more intent about them than United. I mean, I understand what he says about, and it's like tonight's game. You think we should do it, but you never want to be too confident because you just don't know what's going to happen. And Liverpool against United, United could have turned up and absolutely been brilliant, but they didn't. Liverpool were a cut above. United looked just not with it. I mean, it's not like the United of old. So, I have to say that I think Liverpool had a very good night. I think easy perhaps is a strong word to use, but it felt like that, me watching it. And as I say, Thiago was exceptional in what he did. So, I just think it highlights the gulf between City and Liverpool and the rest of the pack. We're not at that level.
It was.
Certainly United aren't.
I saw that game yesterday, and I thought it was, men versus boys came to mind. The fact that Liverpool was so dominant in the way in which they played. As you said, Thiago was running the midfield. It didn't help that, obviously, sadly, Ronaldo wasn't able to play due to, personal, losing his son, and that's never going to help. And that may well have disrupted the balance of the squad. And also Pogba having to go off very early in the game.
That was it.
It obviously, they had a game plan, but once you've got, and I think their defender, who hasn't played for forever, I've forgotten his name now. It will come back to me in a moment. So who is it? Jones.
Phil Jones.
Phil Jones.
Oh, Phil Jones.
Phil Jones was playing, hadn't played for a long time, had to hit the floor running. It was always going to be a really, really difficult. It was torrid. And there were times, part of the game, where Liverpool would attack. The attack would get broken down. Liverpool would get to the halfway line, lose the ball, and Liverpool would go straight to attack again. But all Manchester United were doing was just getting out of the penalty box, but then it was just being put straight back in. And it was a masterclass from Thiago. It was just brilliant. Thank you so much, Robert Myers. Hi from the family. Me, Lisa, and Freya are all listening. Come on, Chelsea! I can't believe I just said that, but I'm saying it anyway because as much as I want my team to win, we'll talk about that in a moment. We'll get into the meat of that discussion. Right now, we're still speaking about yesterday. Very, very quickly then, guys. So obviously they won. There's now talk of, manager change, and, what do you think Manchester United can do? Not that I want it to happen, but what do you think Manchester United can do to stop the rot and literally to turn around their fortunes to become the team that they were of old? What do you think they need to do?
Well, I think they need to sort of have a manager come in with a very clear vision about how he wants to play. He's got to be allowed to get his players in, clear out the deadwood. Man United will always get great support from the supporters, so they'll always have that in their corner. But they've just lost their way, haven't they?
Sorry, Roger. I've just seen. Hello there, Andy. He's got give up. Just to add, Andy obviously is a very, very staunch, loyal Liverpool fan. So
Liverpool!
I know full well there is no disappointment in his heart for Manchester United and their demise. I know that he has absolutely no problem with them being a poor team. But thank you so much for coming in and joining us in the show discussion today. Mark Fraser, I agree. LP were the better team. There was a point during second half, Manchester United up the pace. Yeah, the first 10 minutes of the second half, they were great. And then obviously the goal. But then Liverpool just upped the gears. Very, very true. Sorry, Roger, please continue. So
no, really, that's it. I think, they've struggled since Ferguson left.
Yeah.
It's a bit like Arsenal went through that with Wenger. So, I think they've just got to start almost from scratch in order to rebuild again.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not that clever about these things, but there's serious problems there. I just think some of the players don't want to play. I think Pogba, Ronaldo, Bruno Fernandes is getting frustrated. So is Rashford. I think they've got. I think they've got some problems. I think it's going to be a little while before they start to challenge, unless, of course, Eric Ten Hag comes in, waves a magic wand, and suddenly gets a tune out of them.
Well, I believe he's going to need to wave a magic wallet. The likes of Liverpool, Manchester City, Chelsea, they are running away. Obviously in terms of domination at the moment this season. Very quickly, Andy said a sublime assist from Mane to Salah when he cut back on himself. I didn't know that a man's leg could bend in that angle. He literally turned. He went backwards. It was amazing. And yes, don't get me wrong. There's nothing. I as an Arsenal fan, I really don't want to be singing the praises of Liverpool, but you have to appreciate quality, and there was quality in that team. It has been there for a long time. Last episode, episode 13, I said, is it possible for the quad? On what I saw yesterday, Who knows? But you know what?
Yeah.
The season isn't over. We still got a lot of football to play. And then, sorry, Chris wrote, a thing of beauty, didn't even look, just knew the guy was there. Very true. And Andy said, Man U just ball watching. How can Maguire play for England? Well, before you, don't get me wrong, Maguire and I believe Pickford are very different players in an England shirt than they are at club football. And I think anyone, they are a very different animal. Pickford the same. Yeah. Everyone says Pickford. Why is Pickford in the England team? Well, watch how he plays. Maguire the same. They play fantastically well in the white shirt. When you put the red on them, they are a little bit garbage. But
we can come back to this, but
yeah,
raised a really good point. Actually, he's just said that Ronaldo's not the problem at United because what do they need to do? And I think as outsiders looking in, we could say they need X, Y, Z, money, this, that, the other. In all honesty, I think it's a combination. Well, it's a combination of a whole lot of things that they need. And above
what's the most important thing? What do you think that they need right now?
Patience.
Yeah.
There
is no such thing in the Premier League. You're not given time. You're not. Alex Ferguson would not exist in the modern game. You know, how many years did he play? Did he manage the team before they won the FA Cup?
Yeah.
You know, he was given a good few years to nurture those young lads and bring them into the team that they were. But in this current format, you know, and Chelsea will be, you know, Roger, you'll be able to agree with me here. The hire and fire culture is definitely a part of the Premier League because owners don't want mediocrity; they want wins now. So
it's all about the big money. You get to the Champions League, so they can't afford now. You're right to just sort of drift along and say, okay, we've got a 5-year plan. We'll get back in 5 years. Because if you don't, you know, you're losing money every single year. So there is no patience. And whether people like the hire and fire and they've got their opinions, and fair enough, it's a model that's worked for Chelsea. Well, it has. They've been the most successful club of the last 20 years. Yeah. You know, I think there were managers they got rid of too quickly, which I wasn't happy with. But, you know, they've done it because they wanted to make sure they kept to that top level and got the revenue from the Champions League. So, you know, United are going to miss out on that, possibly Arsenal.
Yeah, well, we're going to get into that in a short while. Andy said there is no cohesion, there's no connection, can't even make a decent pass. The Liverpool press last night was insane. Yeah. They didn't have time to be able to think. You know, I don't even think if Pogba was not injured, he wouldn't have been able to pick a pass. You know, Thiago didn't have anyone against him really because there wasn't there. Obviously, both players. I think when I compared Thiago to Pogba needs more time. Thiago can just get a ball and pass it without looking.
I thought you meant more time in the United team.
No. What I'm saying is his ability to be able to know a pass. But then we knew this when he was at Bayern. When Thiago, when he was at Bayern Munich, wasn't he? He was at Bayern doing exactly the same thing. You know, the pass where he knows you're there. I'm going to pass it. I'm not going to look at you, but I know you're there. He did that all game. It was quite amazing to watch, actually. Just going through the conversations. One game at a time for me. We had 30 years of pain. I think this is a connection to when I was talking about the quad. I get that. And obviously, massive loss of revenue if they miss out on top four. Very, very true. Each team, obviously the Premier League does pay out quite a lot with your league position, but it's, you know, the Champions League qualification and the prestige of qualifying for that means a great deal. And then lastly, when Klopp joined, he said, have patience, give me time to bring Liverpool great again. He is fulfilling that. Very, very true. Can't argue with that. Yes, Roger.
Well, it's the revenue is one thing, but you're not going to attract the top players, are you? Well, when you're getting players for Arsenal saying they want to leave because they want Champions League football. Yeah. So that's the other issue. You end up sliding back and getting, you know, average players or decent players, but not, you know, the real top level that you want.
Very, very true. So if you're new to us, my name's Johnny. We have Chris with us. We've got Roger as well. Hit that thumbs up, please. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, we're a small channel, but we are growing. We talk about all things football. We are just regular fans. We love our clubs. We've got, we're not going to be, it's not all Liverpool. It's not Arsenal. It's not all Chelsea. We have Man United fans as well. And we're hoping to get some Tottenham fans up in here so that we can bully them later. No, I'm joking. I'm looking forward for that. I'm looking forward to getting an Everton fan as well. Anyway, it's left Liverpool on top of the league, keeping in mind that that's obviously Manchester City are playing Brighton today. Brighton are on a rich vein of form where they have taken points. Sorry, I can see Chris is waving his finger at me.
We're not doing that. Like, listen, the worst thing that could have happened, and this is the worst thing that could have happened, was Adam Lallana coming out and saying, "Oh, we're on good form. We've beaten Tottenham. We've beaten Arsenal. Maybe we can." Oh my word, they're gonna hold 5 tonight.
I know.
They're gonna hold 5. Just keep your mouth quiet and focus on the game.
It was I know. I saw that and I thought, what is he doing? But it could be mind games for all we know. But Brighton are playing away from home. They've been on the road. They've got some great results. They've beaten Tottenham. They've beaten Arsenal. But Manchester City will be licking their wounds, obviously, from the defeat at the weekend in the FA Cup semi-final. But I believe that they now know they will need to focus 100% on winning the Premier League. Mark Fraser says that there is pressure on City. Oh, there's been pressure on City as whilst Liverpool were slowly clawing away those 14 points. There has been pressure on them for quite a bit of time. Let's just see how they manage that pressure. Obviously, I wanted us to talk about that game only because it does change the top of the table. Obviously, Liverpool are on top and they can now visualize themselves being at the top of the table. However, there are other games playing tonight. There are other games playing tonight. And I'm just going to put this up on the screen. A big game.
Wonderful stuff.
Chelsea versus Arsenal. So for one day, there are usually 2 days of the year where my love of my father-in-law diminishes greatly. But it's been a long time since I've been able to smile with a win, as most of the results of those games usually end up with a Chelsea win. Let's just quickly look at the team for Chelsea. They have Mendy, Dave, Christensen, and Azpilicueta. I know that they call him Dave, but Azpilicueta, Christensen, Sarr, James, Kante, Loftus-Cheek, Alonso, Mount, Lukaku, and Werner. As I said before, Loftus-Cheek has forced his way into contention and now into the first team, which is absolutely amazing. There were many at Chelsea that didn't think he was Chelsea stock, but he scored an absolutely amazing goal in the semi-final at the weekend, and he deserves his place. But as we can see, Lukaku is on the field. So that's an interesting choice, but actually rotation is important now. He's got to rest some of his players, and arguably it's only Arsenal. so he's playing a weakened striker up front.
Oh, come on.
And the Arsenal squad. We have Ramsdale in goal, White holding Gabriel Tavares, El Neni, Xhaka, Saka, Odegaard, Smith-Rowe, and Nketiah up front.
Wait. Ben White is playing right back.
I know. I just can't. I don't think you understand. I am looking at a team obviously devoid of confidence. They've lost 3 on the bounce.
Stop all of that.
Let me finish my monologue. Let me finish. You have Arsenal who have lost games on the road. They've, confidence is lacking. We've had some major injuries. Obviously, Obviously, no Partey. Tierney's injured. Tomiyasu still is. I think he's not even on the. Is he even on the subs bench? No, he's not. So we have a very, very weakened side.
I'm not having that.
If you saw the title of today's show, I specifically said, is Chelsea going to put Arsenal to the sword?
I hope so.
Well, I hope they don't. But
let's have this right. Let's have this right. Stop.
Yes.
Sorry, I can't. Ben White is a.
Oh, sorry. Go on. Yeah.
He was bought for £50 million, right? Yeah. You let Hector Bellerin go out on loan. You didn't need to do that.
No.
You have a £72 million player sitting on the bench, and you're playing Nketiah. I'm not having all of this. A couple of weeks ago, I'm sorry to say it, but you said I'm confident of getting top 4, right? So
yes,
this is on your manager's head. It's on nobody else.
I'll be honest with you, and as a an Arsenal fan of 40 many years, I won't say how old, but many
years.
years. Even I'm scratching my head right now. Yeah, I get that we have had some injuries, but crazy. And I understand, and I understand that as a manager, you have to stamp your authority. You do. You need to win the dressing room, and you need to make sure that you are the boss, and they respect that. He shipped out, Aubameyang. He has orchestrated a team that works with him. I don't know if Pepe fits that mold anymore, which is why Pepe now is a squad player. He should be one of our main players, and he's not playing.
£2 million.
I know. I scratch my head all the time. Sorry, very quickly. Andy's gone and said, Johnny, I think it's going to be a Chelsea win. I hate to say it. Yes, and then Robert has said, I'm getting my excuses in. And then obviously, Lukaku, the perfect type of striker to bully the Arsenal defence. If he plays to his best, he hasn't for a while now. So we'll see. I used those exact words just before we went on air. I actually said the reason why he has been put on the pitch today is to bully Holding. I think he can't get away with Gabriel. Gabriel will give it back. But I think he sees Holding as the weak link. Having White where he is,
it's madness.
And obviously, Xhaka and El Neni do work well together, but without Partey, Xhaka is close to a red card.
And I wanted to have a prediction, Johnny, for the match. When how long do you think Xhaka will last? When will he be sent off?
I know, and this is the worrying thought: is that I almost feel like if we're yesterday's game was men versus boys, and anyone who watched the game could say that Manchester United didn't have the right mentality. They'd lost a few games. They won a few games, but they came into it with the wrong attitude. In a sense, I don't think anyone thinks we're going to win. So maybe that could be the reason why it could work for us. But if Chelsea do a job, which I think they will do, they are going to score many goals, and I feel like I'm hoping they don't, and I'm hoping that it's going to be a tight affair. The thing is, what it's like when you look on paper. When you look on paper, it goes, "Oh, that team, they'll wipe the floor with them," and then they don't. Yeah. I have no idea where this is going to go, but I do think that if you based it on form, then there is no real discussion here. I think it's quite fair to say we've got a Chelsea home win who actually need to win the game to keep themselves out of the chasing pack.
Yeah.
Man United,
I think they're far. I think they're enough. What should I say? I think they're clear enough. And also, when I look at this team, as much as I've said what I've said, I think Saka and Smith, not so much Smith Rowe, but if he needs to, those two just fall back into the midfield. And you make it a flat 4, right?
Yeah.
You soak up pressure, right? My only thing is, El Neni's been brought back in. Xhaka, we don't know. You're an Arsenal fan, you know better than me. You call him sometimes a bit of a liability. If Partey's playing, you've got a more solid midfield. So you're just trying to say, we start with a point. Let's keep the point. To begin, let's just keep the point. Uh-oh. Johnny, you still with us, mate?
Oh, no.
No, he's there.
No, don't say that. Is my signal weakening?
No, you're fine.
You're good. You're good. You're good.
You're fine.
Okay, Chris, don't do that. That's not nice. Very, very unkind thing to do. Because at that one moment, literally, if I had any hair on my head, it would have gone grey. We already seen the back of episode 13. We do not want to repeat it.
No,
yes.
no, we don't.
So sorry. You were saying before you
I think
gave it the shock of my life.
Those two would have to fall back, just listen to the instructions you're being given from your central midfielders or your centre backs. Like if you have to drop back or do whatever, and just take your chances. At the end of the day, you might not get many, but the first thing to do is look at it and say, do not lose. Do not lose. Don't give away cheap free kicks. Don't give away too much space. Do you understand? You're the away team. Chelsea have to come out at you, and they played Lakaku for that reason, right? When they came to the Emirates at the beginning of the season, he terrorized Arsenal, and that was his second game of the season. He absolutely terrorized them. So you're now saying, don't let him do that again. But that's why he's there. Like anytime he moves on to Holding should just swap with Gabriel. You just got to be aware of what's going on around you and deal with it. But I don't know.
This is the key. So just very, very quickly, if we look at here, so obviously Liverpool on 76 points, Man City on 74, but they have a game in hand, which will be played today. You have Chelsea, who actually are on 30. They've got games in hand everyone.
They're fine.
And they're very, Tottenham, if Chelsea did lose any of the games, Tottenham could mathematically catch them. But actually, with Manchester United losing today, and if Arsenal lose today, with Manchester United losing yesterday, if Arsenal lose today, it hands Tottenham a massive boost in terms of top 4 qualification. As much as I hate to say it, a few weeks ago, there were certain pundits on TV that were saying that Tottenham, with the running of games, Tottenham looked likely the team that would get top 4 spot. It is pretty much heating up at the top of the table. If from an Arsenal point of view, if they can maybe isolate Sarr, because I think Sarr may well be, arguably the weaker of the. I mean, there isn't much weakness in this squad. It's a very tight. Christensen has shown some time. Obviously, I know it was Vinicius Junior that made him look very silly in the Champions League, but Vinicius Junior is quality. Christensen learned his lesson and actually had a good game at the weekend. Sarr, I don't know much about him. Roger, what's your take on him as a player? Is he potentially the weak link in this squad? Is he someone that can be relied on to play he's left back, isn't he? Is he actually a left back?
I think he's come on enormously. When he first came to Chelsea, I thought he was a bit of a liability. When you saw Sarr there instead of Rudiger or something, you begin to worry. But the games that he's featured in, he's done, I think, really well. He's pulled his game up.
Yeah.
He's probably the weaker of the 3, but that's not. He's not rubbish, and he's energetic. He moves around a bit. He'll get support as well from Alonso, and Kante and people like that. So he's probably the weaker of the 3, but I don't think he's that far off it. And he's certainly come on in leaps and bounds, I think, since he had a bit of a run in the side. So we'll see it.
Yeah, and I know Robert has gone. Sorry, go on, Robert. Sorry. Oh no, I was going to say that Robert has said Money Mace. So Mason is in a rich vein of scoring goals at the moment. He says that he will score tonight, maybe. Mark Fraser says that what games have Arsenal got coming up? So just to let you know, obviously Chelsea tonight. Arsenal are playing at home on Saturday against Manchester United. Then they play West Ham. After that, they play Leeds, and then the North London derby. So when you look,
this is it for me.
Yeah, the games that Arsenal have got are brutal. They've got some really difficult games, and now that the wheels have fallen off, because obviously when we went through that run of winning games and actually getting to top 4, contention, it was because we were winning winning games away from home that we wouldn't have won before. We would have lost them, but we actually won them, and it slowly we started to pick up. Now, this is not an excuse. Before you run me down, because I know you're going to what I'm about to say, and I'm just waiting. But Chris is just waiting. Go on, Johnny. Say what you're going to say.
Yeah, go on.
I'm going to say it because I know you're going to run me down, but I'm going to say it anyway. At the very beginning of this season, Arsenal had no chance. In fact, don't let me finish. And Roger, you will. I know you'll agree with me here, Roger. See, Chris is just not willing to listen.
No,
right? Not willing, but let me finish. You know what? I want to put a timeout. I'm going to get a timeout button and say timeout. Anyway, at the very beginning of the season, Arsenal were nowhere. We'd lost our games at the very beginning because of COVID, and we were nowhere. We never had. Let me finish. We had no chance whatsoever of even thinking about Europe, let alone where we are. We were so far behind. What Arteta has done at Arsenal is close to amazing, and it is. He has taken a team of kids and put them to the top end of the table. It's Arsenal fans like me who have supported the club since we were kids. Obviously, that's 40 plus years, who want more. Actually, realistically, we shouldn't be expecting more. We need to look at this team and watch them grow. This is a project. This is a team in transition. This is a team of youngsters who we didn't even know their names 2 seasons ago, and look at them now.
Listen.
I will let you monologue. I will let you monologue, but let me finish.
This is a show, not a soliloquy.
So actually, the fact that Arsenal the wheels have fallen off slightly, if Arsenal still get, not even if we get Europa League, even if we get Europa Conference, I will still say that is a result for this Arsenal team.
Impossible.
But if we don't get it, will the board sack Arteta? They're not going to sack him if he doesn't get it, because they were looking at this team at the beginning of the season thinking, my goodness gracious me, what we're going to do. He's actually done quite well. And I'm disappointed that we won't get Champions League. I'm disappointed. I don't think we will get it. But I'm still going to pat him on the back and say, Arteta, well done for what you have done. You know, you're a Liverpool fan, so you're in the realm of winning. You're in the realm of growing.
You know that I'm fair. I'm a Liverpool fan, but
you ain't fair.
Yes, I am. We had Roy Hodgson in charge. Stop all of that. Right? At the end of the day, this has been the record from the beginning. We had COVID, young team, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
good excuses, brother. You can't knock my excuses.
Hold on. You spent the most money in the summer. You also got rid of players in January and then didn't replace them. So now, if you've got injuries, when he's doing well, you give him praise. When he has made an error, he has to be held accountable. So for me, if you don't make Champions League, he needs to hold that, right? If you don't make Europe, that's a madness for me. Yeah,
listen,
because he spent the most money. He set it up like this. It's a madness, bro. It's a madness.
Chris, let me explain something to you. Were we in Europe last season? Sorry, this season.
No,
we were not in Europe this season.
No, you came
for Arsenal Football Club to progress. Are we going to spend money?
You spent over 200 mil.
Hold on. Don't talk about spending money, brother. You think you ain't spent money. You don't think Chelsea spent money. Let me explain.
Are West Ham a bigger club than you?
No.
Because they're in Europe. Are Leicester a bigger club than you?
No.
So then, why are you coming to, and I know this is a bit off the topic, why are you coming to the Super League table then? Because at the end of the day, you're even in Europe.
Pedigree, my brother. Pedigree. Arsenal have pedigree.
Well, you're certainly dog food, that's for certain.
Good one, Roger. Yes, Roger is in the building, and there you go. That's my snap that's the clip we're going to use. You're definitely dog food. Yes. So anyway, a very good comment from.
Listen, when we fail, we fail. you understand? It's just one of those things. Last year, you remember we spoke about this a bit offline when our title defense and everyone was laughing at us and I was like, there's got to be context. We had no defenders, but no one wanted to hear that, right? So in the same way, you can't come to me and tell me about COVID, bro. You can't. You spent all that money.
Hold on. What do you mean? Let's clarify something.
We
Arsenal strengthened our squad, and then we were decimated by COVID.
We were decimated. We had no defenders. We played Jordan Henderson and Fabinho, but
no one. But what I'm saying is, we were decimated by because everyone was. Make no mistake. If I started for ForMorSport at the beginning of this season, I would be the laughing stock of this show because no points, nil points, no goals scored. We were beat by Brentford, who had just been, who had just been promoted. Look at us now, and this is my point. My point is Arsenal have turned it around. Whether you agree with that or not, they have certainly turned it around. Because when I look at that table tells me that we are in 5th spot. Now, yes, Wolves could catch us, maybe, but ultimately,
you think about it.
No, what I'm saying is that I think that Europe, we will start. If we start Europe in the conference, we'll be the laughing stock of the league. Oh, but it's a stepping stone. You've got to start somewhere. Chelsea, when Chelsea were not in Europe, the following season, because of the backing they had, they won the league.
Of course, but there's a couple of things, and this is not to be rude, but Arsenal are not Chelsea.
No,
Chelsea,
wow, wow.
You're not the same, right?
No,
but right, because I'm not saying that if you're out of Europe, you must make top 4. I don't see Arsenal like that, right? You know me, I like Arsenal, right? But I just think if Arsenal at a point in time were looking at Chelsea, and Chelsea are what? I think they're 8. Are they 8 points ahead of you or something like that? Why are you not looking at West Ham, who you have to play, Chelsea and all these other teams? Because if they take points off of everyone and stop you going forward, they can catch up. This is the part I don't get. Why are we looking at Chelsea when Chelsea are more points ahead than West Ham are behind? Yeah. Like, why would you not then look at? Because that's just me logically. I'm just trying to think what I mean, get being positive and enthusiastic, but I think West Ham are a problem because let's say they beat you and they beat Chelsea, that's 6 points they've gained that you guys are not going to get. Yeah,
but they're back in the mix. Roger, you as a Chelsea fan, at the beginning of this season, Roger, did you think that Chelsea could win the league?
I did. I think up to Christmas we were top. Yeah, just in December we were top of the league, and we looked to be really, putting a run together. Yeah. Then the wheels come off. And then Man City and Liverpool have just been so consistent and so good. At the start of the league, yes, I thought we had a chance this year, especially after winning the Champions League and
that's what I'm trying to say, Chris, is the wheels fell off for Chelsea, but they managed to, obviously they got a big squad, they managed to get the wheels back on and keep going, and they've cemented themselves actually securely in 3rd spot, and Champions League is the minimum. You can't win it and then not qualify the season after. So yes, they've done very, very well, and they're going to qualify again. I think Chelsea are a strong side. We are going to struggle. I think Arsenal will struggle to play them at home. If we were playing at the Emirates, we'd struggle to play them. But playing away is going to be a really tall order. Mark Fraser said, after seeing United last night, do you think Arsenal can take the game to them? I think if Ronaldo is playing, which he may well do when they do play us, I think Manchester United will still be a very difficult team to beat. I think that Liverpool are just so far ahead that they made Manchester United look normal. But Manchester United are not a bad side. They're not a bad side. They've got good players in their team. The likes of the Jadon Sanchos and the Rashfords. They are sort of. They've got pace. They've got speed. They've got Fernandez. They've got players that actually can do the business. But they played a Liverpool team that made them look very, very ordinary. So just very, very quickly, because I'm very conscious of the time. So go through the chats. Mark Fraser, I'm so sorry. He said, "What do I think of Newcastle, Crystal Palace?" Newcastle are on a good run at the moment, and obviously Crystal Palace need to bounce back from their exit from the FA Cup. But I think Newcastle have turned the page now. They've secured themselves for Premier League survival. So I think that now that it's, I'll go for draw in that game. But and then obviously, as much as Arteta was a Rangers player, I like his management style. He learned his craft well. Yes, I do forget that. Before he went to Everton, he was up in Scotland, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Robert said that the season for Chelsea collapsed when Chilwell and James. Yeah, that's true. Chilwell was so important, and it's funny because you got him from Leicester. And I didn't think he would be that guy, and he ended up being that guy and being really a really good player.
Some great goals as well.
Yeah. Hello to Mrs. Morrison. Welcome to the stream. If you haven't already, hit the thumbs up, please, and subscribe to the channel. We're small, but we're growing. Andy said, Man City was so far ahead, didn't think anyone could catch them. Liverpool didn't lose any games and caught them. Very, very, very true. It's pretty much been an amazing season. And actually, it's so exciting. If Brighton managed to eke out a draw tonight, Sunday show will be very interesting.
I listen, 18-19, we lost it by a point. I'm not even thinking about that. I'm not.
Yeah.
Because it was painful, bro.
I know. It was very painful.
You've won leagues. At that point, we've not won a league, and we came so close, and then you just got slapped in the face. I can't take that again.
Yeah.
So I'm just not even thinking about it. I'm not going to watch their game. I'm watching Chelsea versus Arsenal. I don't want to know. I'm just end of the season. Let's see where we get to. That's it.
Right. So as we said, this is going to be a shortened show. Usually we chat for hours, but today we are going to cut it short, purely and simply so that we can. I can cry into my new mug. Oh, by the way, Mrs. Morrison, thank you so much for the mug.
Morrison, thank you.
And also coaster. So merch is on the way. Look at that. ForMorSport mug and a beautiful coaster. Thank you, Mrs. Morrison, for buying that for me and for Chris as well. So we will be drinking out of our tankards or whatever these are called in the next show. So thank you so much. Just before we end the show, though, Roger, I'm going to start with you. What is your prediction for the game today? What do you think the score will be?
I play the play predictor on the Chelsea app, the fifth stand, and I put it down as 2-1 to Chelsea.
So you think Arsenal will score? But
you know what? I'm not one of these gung ho. We're going to beat them, 5-0 or anything like that. I think they're going to turn up. They're going to give it a go. They're not going to roll over. I think we'll edge them, but it wouldn't surprise me if they score a goal. So, but listen, I'm always wrong on these things. I never win anything.
And what about you? What about you, Chris? What do you think the score will be today?
Well, Mark has just said 2-2, so I thought I'd just let everyone know that. For me, I don't see Arsenal scoring. I'm sorry to say it, Johnny. I hate to say it. Like yesterday, United played 3 players who aren't going to be there next year. I don't understand why, if we're so close, you use a who's not going to be there. He's not going to be there next year. There's no point. You should just sack him off, play the players who are going to be there. I don't see him scoring. I don't see Arsenal scoring 2-3. Something like that. 2-3-0.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to think that it could well be a tight affair, but I don't think it will be. I think that just the current mentality and the current lack of confidence, I think, in the Arsenal squad, I do think that obviously it probably is going to be a Chelsea win. I'd love to be wrong. I hope I am wrong, but the likelihood is that Chelsea will probably win the game, and it will literally hand a massive boost to Spurs to get to get qualification and Champions League. Andy did actually say, did I like his Poundland joke? I don't know if I put it up on the screen, but no one said anything about it. So I thought, Andy, yes, I do think it was a funny joke, but obviously you have a very loyal Chelsea fan on the screen. He's not going to be happy if his team is sponsored by Poundland after having the riches that Abramovich flooded into the club.
Do you know the new owners will bring a bit of money to the table?
Yes,
So we're not going to suddenly find ourselves, shopping there. Anyway, who does Andy support? Man United.
No, he's a Liverpool fan, but but unfortunately he's not a Chris Liverpool fan who is reasonable and level-headed. And he is a staunch, hardcore, don't care about any other club Liverpool fan, and is enjoying the wave of championships and titles. I would love to have known what he was like in the years of the wilderness.
One championship.
Yes, I would love to know how loud he was during the wilderness years. But either way, that's gone now. We've got to live in the now. We can't live in the past. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. As I said, if you're new here, please hit the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel because we are small, but we're growing. So thank you so much. We're going to tune into the game now. Chris wants to say something before we go.
We did have a comment earlier on from Mark, I think it was. He said this would have been great if the live chat could have been kept on. So it's just one of those things. I think I'm not going to speak on our own behalf at the moment, but certainly as a group, we probably will talk. And when there's certain games, maybe we can do watch alongs and do.
Sorry, Roger, can you turn your telly down? I can't hear Chris. He's so eager to watch the game. He forgets we're live.
Basically,
I can hear your TV. Sorry, what did you say there?
Mark was asking if it would have been nice if we could have kept it going. So we the live with the chat.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that'd be great. Okay.
Yeah, but that's something we talk about for the future or something like that.
Do you know what? Actually, I think that's a great idea. Actually, yeah, I think I will do that. Okay, so will you be able to stay on and talk with us while we do it, or should we do it for another day?
Hey,
sorry. Or maybe we'll do it another time. We'll do it another time. That sounds great. But Andy, thank you. Was it Mark that made that?
It was Mark's side.
Okay, Mark, great. Yeah, see, this is part of the team, part of our growth. We are growing, we're learning. But we are about to leave. So guys, thank you so much, Roger and Chris, for joining us today. Really do appreciate it.
Chris, like and subscribe, people. Thank you.
Chris, Roger's already gone.
No, I'm here. Chelsea just attacking the Arsenal goal at the moment. I thought they were going to score.
Oh, see, this is what I'm saying. On live, we're already watching our demise. Anyway, guys, take care. Our shows are 7 p.m. Wednesdays and Sundays. Please tune in to the next show where we'll discuss all things football. And we're great guys. So hang out with us next time. Take care. Be safe. See you very, very soon.
See you, folks. Enjoyed it.